In Alma 10 through 11, Alma and Amulek get themselves in a dangerous crowd, filled with, among other threatening persons, lawyers. One of these characters, Zeezrom, was the foremost to accuse Amulek and Alma, and also appears to have been the subject of a delightful pun on his name. To understand this pun, it is important to realize that the Z prefix in Zeezrom can mean something like he of or he of the. It is also worth noting the other Nephite names that follow a similar pattern, such as Zenith, likely meaning something like he of Nephi, or later Zeniphi, with the same thing going on. With this construction in mind, Zeezrom means he of the Ezrom. But what is an Ezrom? Chapter 11 tells us. It is part of their silver measurement system. Beginning with verse 6, we learn that the system includes a senum of silver, an amnor of silver, an ezrom of silver, and an ontai of silver. A senum of silver was equal to a senine of gold, and either for a measure of barley and also for a measure of every kind of grain. Skipping down a bit, and an amnor of silver was as great as 2 senums, and an ezrom of silver was as great as 4 senums, and an ontai of silver was as great as them all. So Zeezrom's name means essentially he of the Ezrom, which is a measure of silver. This becomes interesting when a little later in verse 21 to 22 we have Zeezrom offer Amulek silver. And this Zeezrom began to question Amulek, saying, "Will ye answer me a few questions which I shall ask you?" Now Zeezrom was a man who was expert in the devices of the devil, that he might destroy that which was good. Therefore he said unto Amulek, "Will ye answer the questions which I shall put unto you?" And Amulek said unto him, "Yea, if it be according to the Spirit of the Lord which is in me, for I shall say nothing which is contrary to the Spirit of the Lord." And Zeezrom said unto him, "Behold, here are 6 ontais of silver, and all these will I give thee, if thou wilt deny the existence of a supreme being." So rendering this a little differently, Mr. Silver just offered Amulek a bunch of silver to deny the existence of a supreme being. Or Mr. Cash just offered Amulek cash. Or playing on the association of Benjamin Franklin with the American $100 bill, this Benjamin is offering Amulek a whole stack of Benjamins to deny the existence of a supreme being. Puns and humor are often hard to fully appreciate in translation, but this one is worth noting both as an example of an artful passage in the scriptures and as an illustration of how the Book of Mormon writers went about wordplay, of which many fine examples have been discussed, for example, in the work of Matthew L. Bowen, included in the program notes.